Yo, check this out. I received this in the mail, right? Hello, black man. And I'm so excited about it. This is a journal to help black men articulate their feelings, express their feelings. Hell, just acknowledge that we have them in a safe and honest way. And hopefully, it will translate into other parts of your life. I get it. As a black man, a lot of us weren't encouraged or taught to talk about our feelings. As a kid, when you fail and hurt yourself, your parents told you to get up. You're a big boy. Big boys don't cry. That right there is a hard lesson to unlearn, and it's very hurtful. Because when we become older, we don't know how to express ourselves. We don't know how to talk about our feelings. We don't know how to have a conversation without lashing out or using profanity or getting upset and becoming violent, because we weren't taught. But this, man, is essential, not just to each one of us becoming a better person, but a society of men being able to express themselves is priceless. So if you want to become the best version of you that you can do, check out helloblackman.com. Grab the journal, actually journal in it, be honest, be open, and be accessible to your feelings and embrace them.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, the thing will go off right time. I got on here. Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Jamie Jenkins. We're back with another episode of the Hello Black Man podcast. Every single Monday, consistently, we're coming and bringing you a phenomenal person to come in and share some transparency and communication with the room. And what you have is you have the ability to come in and listen and learn and see where these questions lead this person and where they could lead you. So this is what we're all about here. We're all about transparency, communication, and these questions are a bit intriguing. They're going to take a moment to kind of come up with your answer, and they should. But absolutely glad to have you. If you're here, all 8 viewers, if you would, tag a few people, share the video, and we're just trying to get the message out. I was just on Clubhouse, and literally, I'm not gonna lie, they were blown away at what we were trying to do here. So they're going to try to get us on some different platforms to be able to share what we're doing. So they're sharing what you all are hearing, and every story is unique. That's why we're bringing people in from near and far, people I don't know, and just to be able to hear how relatable we are. Every single guest that I've had on the show, every single one, we've had a connection beyond just getting to know someone. Their first moment, if that person and my dad both our dads are pastors, or both have sons, or both college, or both Greek organizations, whatever it was, we found something. Like, we found something just by having a short conversation, being transparent, answering how they answer certain questions would be exactly the way I would. And it's always good, always feels good to have someone that you can relate to. Tonight, one of the hottest sellers of the journey journals that we have has been the Hello Black Educator. And I'm one of those. I was a class clown. Listen, and you all know that. I was a class clown. I was the one that finished my work first. President of the Beta Club, advanced placement, all that. But I like to have fun. I was a clown in school. I like to have fun, laugh, joke, stuff like that. And I look back on all the educators that helped shape me to be the person that I am today. And I just thank them, and I thank their profession. You talking about undervalued, underpaid, and I'm telling you, one of those. This is a class of people. They're a class of people, a breed of people to go into these classrooms and deal with these young humans that we are sending their way, or to teach these young humans Zoom. I can't imagine me on a Zoom. Oh my God. You asking me to log on to a class, and I'm you got a million other things to do. Man, I'm telling you, these educators have a different level of respect for me because I personally don't feel like I could give all that they give. They give time, effort, money. They are side payments. You know how people got a side piece? You know how people got a side piece? These educators are side parents, if you know it or not. Just being for real with you. They got kids they take care of, feed, get them this and the other. So man, I just really revere the profession. And that's why we came up with the Hello Bike Educator. This young lady that I have on tonight, she's a 26-year high school teacher. 26-year high school teacher. That means she has taught some mamas and daddies, and as time goes through there. Two-time teacher of the year. That means she's on her A game. She is doing above and beyond what has been required. Spoken word artist. I love me some spoken word. Uh, perf- Personal development package and workshops, live comedy, music and poetry shows. She has so much talent, and I am appreciative of her time. Houston organizer for 100,000 Poets for Change Congressional Award for Activism, inspirational podcast. I don't want to butcher that word, so I will let her say it when she comes on here. Now she's smiling. She's like, "Yeah, don't mess that up." I say it myself, and I'm gonna let you. I'm going to allow it. But she has inspirational emerging clothing, so she'll be on here right now. Without further ado, our guest for the evening.
Well, thank you for having me. So, my real name is Marlena Johns. My stage name is Zen Ase. Most people know me by Zen Ase. So,
Jenna
that's,
Shay.
yeah, that's what's on the screen right now. And thank you for
That's right.
that great opening, that great introduction. I appreciate that.
Good deal. So we have all your information here. So anybody that's on, please follow her. Um, and we're asking you to follow and engage. Not click the like, never go back, not follow today and unfollow tomorrow. But when we have phenomenal people in front of us, get connected. I hate to hear people in my circle say, no new friends, or my circle has been this tight forever. Well, you missing out on something. That's what I tell them. Well, you probably missing out on something. If your circle is so tight, look where you are and look where you could be. Maybe you do need to reach out to some different people and enlarge your territory, enlarge your circle. So make sure you're following Ms. Zena Shea on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, and make sure we click on that link and get some merch and support the cause. So we're going to start off really, really, really simple, and then we'll get into it tonight for the podcast. But the first question is pretty simple. Hopefully, it's a little simple. Just tell the viewers who you are.
Well, you covered quite a bit. I am a 26-year high school educator, and I'm also a mother of two, a grandmother of three. Um,
Listen, hold on. I'm going to stop you. I guess because you look 26. And so when I was reading the profile, I was like, so she's 26 and she's done all this stuff here. She's like, no, read it again. I'm like, 26. She's a 26-year-old. I wanted to put old. That's what I was trying to put. And I'm looking at your profile, looking at doing my little research. I said, this got to mean she's 26 years old, teacher. 20, that's what I was reading.
no, I'm about to be 51 in September,
Wow.
and people say you don't look like it. Okay,
You do not.
yeah.
You do not.
Yeah, so I actually have 26-year-old sons, twins.
Wow.
Yes. So, but there came a point in time you talked about how difficult it is to be an educator, and it
Hmm.
is. We have the third highest turnover of any profession, at least according to the stats that I saw last. So, a lot of people don't make it through their second or third year. And so I do plan on staying 4 more years till I retire, but there came a time when I got really stressed out by it. And so
Mhm.
that's when I really began to dive into writing. It was, as you've already said, with your journals, it is really a way to get in touch with your feelings, to access your feelings, to deal with your feelings. And so I got into writing, and then I got into performing because there's nothing for me. And for most performers, there's nothing like the stage. The energy that you get on the stage is life-giving, and it builds a feeling of almost a second family or a second community. And that led to everything that I'm doing now. That led to me doing my own live comedy, music, and poetry shows. I've organized over 60 of them. We just did a sold out one Friday.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then that led to merchandise, all kinds of merchandise. I have t-shirts, I have mugs, I have keychains. I also have my own journals, that
Mhm.
guided journals and workshops. And that led to actually the podcast, because last year in 2020, we did not have the ability to have live shows.
Right.
So people were like, you have such great guests on your show. We would really like the entertainment, but you also tell such great, inspiring stories. Because all of my shows are about uplifting the
Mhm.
community. So they were like, you should do a podcast. And I was like, I don't know anything about podcasts. So I actually took a podcasting class.
Oh wow.
Yeah, never finished it. I took it. It was like 45 modules. I think I did the first
Yeah.
22 because it was
You
so
like
much stuff.
you like okay, I'm dug in. Let me try it. Let's go.
Right, exactly. And it's called Zenergy.
Okay.
So Zennurgy. We're actually top 10% globally. So we're in the top.
Hello. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That is what's up, man. Listen, uh, everything you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. And when we see people and can connect with people that are doing similar things, and I know a lot of times people see competition, but they say, okay, we're doing the same thing. She got journals, she got a podcast, she got, my God, we doing the same thing. But when you're talking about uplifting the community, I don't think we can have enough. I don't think there is enough people that are doing what we're doing. And I truly feel like, as your podcast is taking off, it is just an opportunity for everyone to become engaged in, just the positive vibe that you have, that you're pushing. So I applaud every single avenue and wish you nothing but the best for every t-shirt, mug, every poetry line. It's gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna go viral. That's my wish and blessing on you.
Well, I thank you for that. And I agree with you about that. I would say the same thing. And I'm going to just put out here on the air that I'm going to turn around and invite you to come on my show and tell people what you're doing with, your platform and your journals. Because I do believe we can't have enough. And
Right.
everybody has their own, I don't know what's inside your journal, but
Mm-hmm.
everyone has their own slight take on
Yes.
things.
Yes.
So there's no way in the world that you and I could have exactly the same thing, even though we both have a guided journal. It's just impossible, because I'm coming from a female perspective. I'm coming
Perspective.
from an
Right.
educator perspective. I'm coming from an artist perspective, and you're
Yep.
coming from your background. So you're
Mm-hmm.
going to pull in, and you're a Black man. So you have we have a lot of similarities,
Mm-hmm.
but we have that gender difference that's going to give you the ability to tap into the male psyche that I probably don't have. And wouldn't even try to have. I'm not, I'm gonna stay in my lane and love the brothers and uplift the brothers, but not try to think that I have them figured out.
Man, hey, I truly understand that. So we're gonna skip around a little bit tonight. So
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, you're an entrepreneur, obviously an entrepreneur. So I want to ask you at least a couple of questions out of the entrepreneur journal. And then I'm going to ask you at least one out of the Hello Black Woman journal. So we're going to kind of skip around, get some different perspective. You bring a lot to the table. You kind of forcing my hand here. I can't stay in one journal with you. It wouldn't do you justice.
Well, thank you.
So so the first question I'm going to ask you is out of the entrepreneur journal. And so, hello, Black entrepreneur. What motivates you to be your own boss? And you have a timestamp on your career, your educational career. So now you can be like, okay, now it's just me. So hello, back entrepreneur. What motivates you to be your own boss? Describe your passion.
Well, I got into education and I thought that I was going to be one of those people, on a cane or on a walker coming in to teach. But then education began to become numbers driven in terms of the kids were seen as numbers and scores. And
Mm-hmm.
that really, really bothered me at a very deep level because I have my own children. I don't want anybody seeing them that way.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted my children to be seen as people, and I want to see my students as people. And so, I began to fight with that a lot, and so my passion became I want to give people a place where they're not seen as a number. I want to give people a place where they feel connected to other human beings and they feel that value as a human being. So, kind of my 3 V's were, I want to show the value that I have for every human being. I want to create a village for the people, so that when they come to a show, when they come to a podcast, they feel like they're joining a village. And in the African village, everyone had value, whether you were the weaver, whether you were the warrior, the person, the agricultural person, the shaman, every single person had value. No one was more important than the other person because you all were needed. And then I want to create a vibe. So I used to find that in teaching, and then it was gone and I couldn't get it back. And so I was like, as an entrepreneur, I have control of that. I can, show people value, get them to see their own value, and then I can create a village and I can create a vibe. And so that was really my passion as an entrepreneur.
Listen, you are so well spoken. You speak as an educator. Do you know some of those people, like you can hear them talk like, oh, she got to be a teacher. She has to be a teacher. So you have it through and through your pores, your DNA. Who inspired you to be? Who inspired you to walk into education? That's one of my educator questions, by the way. But who inspired you to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start teaching.
Well, my grandfather was a mechanic, but he also taught auto mechanics
Mm,
in high school. And my grandmother, when I was the oldest cousin, so we went to stay with my grandmother every summer. So I grew up between Houston and Baton Rouge. So every summer I was in Baton Rouge
okay.
till I went to college. I was the oldest cousin, so my grandmother would go to the dollar store, and she would buy all the little workbooks, and she had a chalkboard in her house, and she made me teach my cousins. The whole time we were growing up, I had to have school. We had school every day, even in the summer. We
Oh
had to
my
take us
God.
to the library, and we all had to pick out books. And I was the first one, of course, that could read because I was the oldest.
Mhm.
So in the beginning, I had to read to them, and then I had to teach them math and their letters and all that stuff. And then later, we all had we all had our own little homework assignments that we had to do.
Mhm.
But I kind of feel like I didn't even have a choice because I grew up doing that.
Yeah.
And then
Natural.
right. And when I went to college, I was one of those undecided people.
Okay.
I went to college. I started off in a business class and dropped out of it because they were trying to teach us how to manipulate everybody. And I was like, I don't know. I don't want to learn that. And so I dropped out of that. I went into graphic arts for a while, and then I dropped out of that. And then I ended up in English because I loved words. And I
Mhm.
stayed there. And in the beginning, I was like, well, I'm going to go be a journalist. And then I had my first journalism class and I hated it because they gave us the most boring topics ever and the fastest deadlines ever. So I was like, you know what? Let me just be an English teacher because nothing else is working for me.
Mhm.
Um, and so it was kind of that way. I was not trying to go into it in the beginning. I was trying all these different things, but it was just something natural that I had always been doing. And so I just fell right into it. So.
Awesome. Listen, I applaud you for a couple things. I applaud you definitely for you said you tried several different things at college. And I think that a lot of us go into college, and once you pick something in your mind, you say, I have to finish this out. People get into careers or into college and get into a certain curriculum and they hate it. They absolutely hate it. And they feel like they'll be, such a failure from uh, outside views to change. Say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. Let me swap over here and do something else. So I absolutely applaud that, and I tell students that all the time. Say, where are you? Not if it's too tough. That's okay. If things get tough and you're battling with it, that's fine. If you like it, if you want to pursue that, I said, but sometimes you get into something and that's not a fit. Like the profession doesn't feel like something you would do on a daily basis. To to dedicate your life to something, dedicate the younger part of your youth to something. Do you want to get up and do this every day? So I definitely applaud you for having the courage to, hey, no, not that, no, not that. This is where I am right now, and I'm going to make this work. So that's absolutely awesome. So
Well,
this next question is about Hello Black Woman. So the first question in the journal says, "Hello, Black woman. How do you think others describe you, and how do you describe yourself?"
well, my name Zen actually came from people. I was a waitress in college, and
Mm-hmm.
it was a day when everybody was going crazy. The customers, the wait staff, it was just chaos. And I stayed with a smile on my face the whole time. And then people were like, "What are you on?" I just want to go Zen. And I was like,
Flexible.
no, I'm not on anything. It's, at that time it was like my faith was really giving me a lot of peace.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got the nickname Zen because they just kept calling me Zen. And I need to be around Zen. I need to get some of her Zen. And then people would call me and say, I just need you to talk to me. Just talk to me. When you talk to me, I calm down. Or I need you to mediate this thing because you seem to be able to just understand things.
Mm-hmm.
My boyfriend and I are having trouble, so let him tell you his side. Let me tell you my side. Let's see if you can bring some peace. So I've been called a peacemaker my whole life. I've been called, a mediator, someone who has a calming spirit. So those are some of the things that I've been called. How do I describe myself? Well, I actually start off my podcast and I say, welcome to Zenergy. I am your conduit, your coach, and your catalyst. So a conduit, is part of the flow. I want things to flow
Mm-hmm.
from me to you. I want things to flow from the guest to you. So I'm providing a connection. A catalyst sparks change. So I believe that I'm here to spark change. I'm here to get people out of their rut, to spark them to thinking about different things, to spark them to taking risks. And a coach draws out hidden potential. So, I was an athlete in high school. Started off in 7th grade playing basketball and volleyball, went all the way to college playing volleyball, went all the way through high school playing basketball. So I had a lot of coaches, like
Mm-hmm.
7 years of coaches. And all a coach does is they just tap into what's in you. They can't bring out anything that's not there. So they
True.
push you. They get you to do beyond what you think you can do. That extra rep, that extra push. So I see myself as a coach, someone who's trying to get people to dig a little deeper, try a little harder, take a risk, so those are the ways I would describe myself.
Wow, that's phenomenal. Like I said, you're so well spoken to have that ready. You definitely have some Zenergy to be able to have that on tap. Um, Let me ask you this question here. Let's see. Uh, oh, I like this one, especially for you. It says goals. So you're at some point you're going to transition here. So, hello, Black woman. What are some goals that you have accomplished? Talk about goals you wish to accomplish, and give us a short plan on how you will accomplish it. So, what's some goals you've already knocked out? I had a list. I already got a list of some things you've done. But come
There are
on.
so many. I just did a little meme. I have this little app called Googlegram on my phone where you can
Huh?
basically take a picture and you can type words on it so you can
Huh?
actually create your own memes.
Hmm.
So just for July, I actually almost tripled my downloads for Zenergy, the podcast.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
Um, I had the sold out show. That was one of my goals, to sell out that show.
Hmm.
In the beginning of July, I finished volume 2 of my Zenergize Your Life. My second journal, guided journal. So I finished that volume 2. So those are just 3 things that I accomplished this month. So I mean, I keep a planner and I'm constantly goal setting. I'm constantly I have stickers all throughout my planner because every time I accomplish a goal, I stick a sticker, right there so I can see it. It just makes me feel out.
Like, boom, you see that sticker, another sticker. What's up? You see me?
Yeah, I'm a 50-year-old sticker person, so I give my students stickers and I give myself stickers. I love stickers.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so some of the goals, okay, I was working on a goal today. One of my goals for this summer was to get my merch into a store. And I had gone out and pitched a store that I thought would be a good fit. And she actually reached out to me last night to say, yes, bring your merchandise. So what I was doing today is creating some little mini, like 3x5 little placards so I could put them next to my merch. So it would kind of describe what it is, what the price is and all that kind of stuff. So I had like 5 of those to create. So, and tomorrow I have to actually go buy a shelf so I can put the shelf in there and then go in the store and organize my things. So that's a goal that I wish to accomplish, is actually driving over there, getting the shelf, putting everything in there. And that's my plan to accomplish that. I'm also going to talk to her about doing a workshop there because I've done 5 workshops with the first volume 1. So that's a goal that I'm working on accomplishing. And I'm always writing down goals and I'm always writing down plans on how to get them done.
That is so crazy because I was just about to follow up and ask you about how important and how impactful it is to write the goal down.
Well, last year in 2020, which some people would laugh at this, at the beginning of 2020, a friend of mine had said, hey, you should get a passion planner. And I've never stuck to a planner ever, ever, ever. But I bought a passion planner and it has, what I like about it, it's got personal goals and it has work goals. And it has, where you plan out the whole year, and then you check at 6 months and then you plan out each month. And then you check at the end of the month, what did you accomplish? So I love the reflection. I love the constant goal setting, and it gives you so many spaces to just doodle and draw and, just a lot of blank space. I need that blank space because I need a lot of room to just draw and stuff like that. And, do little maps and whatever, timelines, all kind of stuff. So yeah, that's, for me, that's been great. I did my first vision board, I have that on my wall, and then that also led into me creating my own guided journal. So yeah, but writing down goals, to me, when people say, how have you accomplished everything that you've accomplished? Because I've only been in business 3 years. And in that 3 years, I have actually had 2 spinoffs of the original business that I created. The original business was just Laughs and Lyrics, a live comedy music poetry show. But we've done 60 shows in 3 years. Some people have never done 60 shows who do shows, but we've done 60 in 3 years. I've worked with 85 artists in 3 years. So how do I do that? Goal setting, who do I want to be on the show? What do I want to happen next? And then the merch, I have 14 different designs that are print on demand. And about 20 different things that you could put that design on. So that was a goal. And then now with the podcast, I've got a whole bunch of goals with the podcast. So goal setting, you can't do it if you don't write it down. And writing it down keeps you, to me, it keeps you on track because I forget goals. When I go back and I look at June and I'm like, oh, I wrote these 5 things down. I didn't even start on those. Oh, let me put them in July, So I forget, I get so caught up in the busy day-to-day stuff that I sometimes forget that I had a goal, and going back to it keeps me on track. And it keeps me remembering, oh, this is really important. I said I was going to do this, and it also motivates me because whenever you have that time when you are just trudging through and it doesn't feel like anything's going, when you can flip back and you can say, I've already accomplished 20 goals this year and it's just the beginning of the year, or I've accomplished 5 goals this month, that just makes you feel like you can do whatever it is that you're setting out to do. So to me, if you're not writing down your goals, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, because it's a motivational tool, it's an accountability tool, it's a guidance tool, it's so many things. So
That's it. I mean, it's hard to imagine, it's like being able to keep score. If you're playing a game, if we're not keeping score, then you can go out there and kind of do whatever you want. If you're playing basketball, we're playing basketball, just shooting around, no score. We're not counting who make, who miss. You'll put anything up. You shoot behind your back, you don't care. But when we start taking score, you start writing things down, then you say, wait a minute, this I gotta be a little more strategic here. I need to play a little defense here. I need to play a little more offense here. So whatever it may be, just writing it down, keeping track, keeping score of yourself, I think is paramount to any success. I do.
I want to say one more thing, and I want to thank Sandra Williams for saying, wow, she is great. Thank you for that. That just popped up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I think goal setting does, it helps you see how you're changing.
Oh man, that's it.
Sometimes we don't even realize we're growing until we look back at where we were.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
So sometimes people think, man, I'm trying so hard and I'm not making any headway. Sometimes it's not about what's happening on the outside. It's about what's happening on the inside. So when you go back and you read some of your goals and you're like, I actually did that. I'm the kind of person now who did that. Before, I was the kind of person who didn't even know if I could do that, but I actually did it. And now I can say that I'm that kind of person, so I think that that's another powerful thing, is that we see ourselves differently. We see our growth. We see our evolution.
True. A track record. You got some history. You've written down where you were today. Man, that is absolutely awesome. We're going to pause for a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Hello, Black Man. This guided journal is being made available to build character, confidence, and define the inner person.
It has been deemed clear that our culture and our past has hindered Black men from being open and vulnerable. Hello, Black Man.
Hello, Black Man.
Okay, and we're back. So I got a couple follow-up questions here, and I like this question a lot because I have a travel passion in my mind, as far as actually going a lot of places I haven't been. I've had some international travel, just to be able to get out of the country and see something new is mind blowing to me. I'm a little country boy from a small, as my mom said, I'm from a one-horse town, a small one-horse town. So to be able to go international is something that I can just have under my belt. So this question asks about your travels. It says, hello, Black woman. Talk about your most memorable travels from departure to return. Highlight the highs and lows. What's your bucket list of places to visit?
Well, traveling is something that I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done it as much as I would like. I'm one of those people that's, I guess you could say, kind of nervous about going places by myself that are out of like the city, the country, whatever. So I've kind of waited on okay, let me wait on having a relationship. When I was married, I was married to two different homebodies, so we didn't go anywhere except family visits. So, but I will say for me, my memorable travels would be traveling to places that I got to perform and getting some, like, for example, when I was on the improv stage,
Mhm.
I had actually never been to the Improv, except when I went to see some friends perform, and then I ended up being able to perform on that stage. So that was really a great experience. And then, going to other, there's so many. Houston is such a culturally
It
diverse
is.
town or city, and there's so many places that are iconic. So, being able to go to Capone's and being able to go to the last, what was it? The last cafe, that's not what it's called. I'm missing a word in there. But anyway, there's a lot of places that are very iconic, and then to be able to go as a performer was really memorable, and to get to see it from that perspective. Um, so I really loved that. I actually went and performed in Baytown, which was kind of cool because that was kind of my first, even though it's not a very far journey. I hadn't been to Baytown since I was a kid,
Mhm.
and to go back as a performer, that was really cool. And we had this beautiful garden, and they had like everybody outside in this huge garden, and you're on the stage with all these lights and the trees, and it's just gorgeous, very romantic setting, and something like you would see in one of those movies, one of those rom-com,
Yeah.
with all the lights and the trees and everything. And they're
Like
singing.
that moment, like, oh, one of
Yeah, like you
those
walk outside and you're
surreal.
like, oh wow, this is like a fairy tale kind of setting. Wow. So that's been some of my I guess highs. Um I guess the low would be that there are just so many places I want to go, and I
Mhm.
haven't gone. Like I want to go to Vegas. You asked about the bucket list. I want to go to Disney World. Never been there. I want to
Never been
definitely.
to Disney World.
I've never been. I feel like I missed part of my childhood.
I don't listen. So listen, I'm one of those people. I feel like you don't get too old to go places. I really believe that. I don't think you get too old to go anywhere. When I'm in a group and somebody got to go to Chuck E. Cheese, like I'm just as excited to go to Chuck E. Cheese as they are. Like I'm gonna get a few games in, play a few hockey and stuff like that. I don't have. I'm cool with that. So you got Vegas on your list. You have to go to Disney World. You gotta punch that ticket. You gotta punch that ticket. You gotta
Yeah,
get to eat your Mickey Mouse ears
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Walk around eating ice cream. Get on a few rides.
I want to
Yeah.
go to Africa because I feel like everybody's got to go to the motherland and see
Yes.
the pyramids in Egypt. Venice, the whole idea of the gondolas in a city that's on, has all this water. I want to see that. Paris, so I have a lot of places I want to go. I want to go to
Listen.
like the Bahamas,
Oh man, you have the bucket list. That you give me 7 places that are. Let's see. I haven't been. I've only been to one of your bucket list places. That's Disney World, and I was probably, I don't know, really young then, early 20s or something like that. At that point, so yeah, you got some places you got to go.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
so this is 2021. You got what, 5 months left. You get with your travel agent. Tell them you want a long weekend. And when people think about traveling, the first thing they think about is the amount of time you got to be there. I don't have to be anywhere 2 weeks. Now back in the day, when people talk about going on vacation, it was for a week, 2 weeks at a time. You know, everybody piled into a van. You drive to Chicago or drive somewhere. You there a week and a half, thing with family and stuff like that. But now you got, quick flights here and there. For me to get to Atlanta from Jackson is 45 minutes. For me to get to Orlando is 55 minutes. I can get there literally, spend all day in Atlanta or spend all day in Orlando and come back the next day and say I've been. You can't do everything. When you go to Paris, you can't do everything. You go to Bahamas, you can't do everything, but you can enjoy while you're there. You can say, hey, been there, done that, moving on to the next thing. So you have a phenomenal bucket list. So I'm gonna be checking back in with you to see if you're working on this list, working on this phenomenal list here. Let's see. So I have one here. I think I want to ask you this question here. Hmm. Here's one. What movie, no matter how many times you've seen it, do you have to watch when it's on?
I would say that's not the case anymore. It used to be musicals. Like when
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid, every single Christmas I would watch The Sound of Music,
Mm-hmm.
or I would watch The Grinch, or what was it? The night it was some Christmas cartoon where they had Heat Miser and Cold Miser. I don't the night before Christmas or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I watched that every single Christmas, probably till I was like 40 or something. I showed it to my kids and everything. I mean, we watched it all the time. So those kind of very nostalgic kind of Christmas movies, those things like that, were probably the ones that I would have watched. But now, my kids are grown now, so it's
Mm-hmm.
not like we have those kind of moments. I would probably do that with my grandkids eventually, but yeah, so now I would say there's not one, but those would be the ones that I would watch.
So let me ask you this: Are you a movie buff? Are you a do you go to the movies, or do you are you a person that will go to the cinema, the actual big screen, and watch movies?
I am, but I am one of those people. Get I tend to work a little too much. Okay.
Mm.
So
You telling on yourself now. Okay. You tell it. You're being transparent now.
and being very transparent, one of the things that I have worked on and I do work on is scheduling downtime.
That's it.
Because if I don't schedule down, if I don't say, okay, tomorrow is going to be my just have fun day, or for the weekend I'm just having fun, I'm not doing any work. If I
Mm-hmm.
don't schedule that, if I don't put it down in writing, I will work.
You working through
I
it.
will
You
work.
working straight through the weekend. Working straight through
Exactly.
Friday night.
So I will literally pencil in me time, downtime, whether it's meditation, whether it's going to the spa, whether it's going to the movies, because I found that that's the only way that I carve out the time and keep it sacred. Because otherwise I will just keep going until I get to that point where I'm like, I don't feel like doing anything. Okay, today I'm not doing anything. And then it's at that point, it's almost like a negative. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
because you're just so tired and then you don't want to get up off the couch. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like you burn yourself out to the point where you don't want to get up off the couch. So I'm trying to avoid those days by scheduling at regular intervals, like every week, every 2 weeks, extended time, like a whole day or a day
Mm-hmm.
and a half, where I really go out and I enjoy things, and I've actually planned. I'm going to this outdoor concert. I'm going here. I'm going there. So I really know it's something to look forward to.
Right.
So, and it's also kind of a reward for all your hard work. Because I think that one
Yes.
thing we do, especially as Black people, I think that we're trained to, your
Over.
worth is tied to your work. And so I had to kind of separate myself from that and to see myself as worthy, whether I was working or not, whether I was producing or not, because we have this idea, ooh, I don't want to be lazy. Well, a lot of us do, especially older, I don't
Yes.
want anybody thinking I'm lazy.
Yes.
That kind
Overwork. You'll work 300%, and a lot of times, oh man, that's crazy. Because me and one of my buddies had basically this same conversation a couple weeks ago about how we are viewed in the workplace as far as our loyalty, and how it could be taken for granted so easily, manipulated basically, especially when it comes to promotion or raises or things of that nature. You feel like your loyalty plays such a part in certain things, and then a lot of time it's put into your front doorstep like, no, maybe not. Like maybe not. You maybe not viewed as loyal or as accomplished as you have in your mind based on what you're doing on a daily basis. So I definitely understand that. But it was your point about making downtime a scheduled thing. That is very proactive. That is very proactive for you mentally and physically. because people don't realize how impactful your mental health is, how it could incapacitate you. You talk about this being down, you get burnt out where you could have took a 4 hour step back and been ready for the next Monday, been ready for your next event. You will work yourself through things and be down for a week just feeling bad. You don't understand why. Well, like you worked 70 hours last week. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you working yourself into the ground? So you have a great handle on that. So I'll be following you on Instagram and following you on social media. I want to see some fun pictures. I want to see some smiles, some drinks, whatever you do to have fun, some trip pictures and stuff like that. I'm gonna have them eyes on there. You know how to have the little eyes on there. Like, okay, I see you. You doing what you said you was gonna do from that standpoint. So listen, I got one other fun question I like to ask. And it's about your taste in music. Let's see. Where's my question at? Come on, question. Where are you? I don't see it. So listen, this is the question. The question is, if you could have one song play when you walk into a room, you could have one song play when you walk into a room the rest of your life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Think about that thing. If you could have one song to play when you walk into a room the rest of your life, what song would it be?
Okay, there's a song by Fort Minor, and I'm not sure the name of it, but it's like 10% vision, 20%, uh gosh, 50% concentrated power of will. It's like all these percentages,
Mm-hmm.
it's remember the name. Remember the name. And it's basically talking about all the things that make this person memorable and make this person kind of a
10% look, 20% skill,
yes.
15%. Ah, I see it. I see it.
Yeah, that would be the song that I would have play every time I walk into a room because I do believe that there's so many different aspects to myself and
Mm-hmm.
so many different aspects to success. And I like to, in fact, my whole podcast is kind of going A to Z with all of these different, things that can make a person successful. We started off like the first podcast episode was abundance. And then we went into action, accountability, adaptability, just and going through all the A's and then into like balance and boundaries and being a benefit to others and then into like control, taking control and then, commitment and, so decisiveness. So we're into the E's now, but so that would definitely be my song because I love that breaking down success or breaking down what makes a person who they are and makes them push forward when they could give up, and I just love that song. So that would be the song that would play.
Man, that is absolutely awesome. I literally wouldn't have an idea. I put you on the spot. You came up with something quickly. So listen, as a parting shot, we have your Facebook information in here. We have your Instagram information. We have your Twitter, and we have your website. Leave the people with any words of encouragement, and make sure you leave them on what you have coming up next, how they can contribute or contact you.
Okay, well, my whole purpose is to give people, as I said, that conduit, that catalyst, that coach. And so I do have my volume 1 and volume 2 that's available. I have all kinds of inspirational merchandise. So you got laughsandlyrics.com down at the bottom. If you put a / and shop, you can actually see my shop. Laughsandlyrics.com takes you straight to my podcast episodes. So you can listen to them there or you can look at the YouTube. I am on all the streaming platform, Zenergy, Zennurgy. So we release an episode every week, a new episode every week. So you can follow me there. And I do go live on Facebook, on Instagram sometimes, on YouTube with some of the, oh, thank you. Somebody says they'll start making goals for themselves. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I do go live a lot, but you can support through, buying any of the merch. I do paid ads on my podcast, starting at $15, going all, up to other prices. But so I'm definitely about trying to put people out that are doing some fabulous things. And I'm always looking for guests on the podcast. I do virtual guests as well as face-to-face if you're in the Houston area. So those are some of the things that are coming up for me. I get ready to go back to school in less than 2 weeks. So that's going to be a transition back into that. Yeah.
Nervous? Are you getting nervous about back to school? Like, do you have an alarm set? I mean, you've been teaching 26 years. Do you automatically get up at a certain time now? Like, I'm up at 6:45. Or can you sleep late?
No, I sleep in.
Good
I'm
deal.
a night owl, so
Okay.
it's difficult for me to get up in the morning. I actually have 2 alarms set when I go to school. I have an
Okay.
alarm on my phone and I have an alarm clock, just in case I possibly sleep through one.
Hold on. You have a real alarm clock, like a real one.
I have a real alarm clock.
Like a real clock that
A
sits
real
on your
clock that
nightstand.
has an alarm on it. Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. I don't, not many people these days buy alarm clocks. Like they have they have their phone, or they have Alexa or something like that may wake them up or something. But having a clock to wake you up,
Well,
yeah,
see,
that's what's up.
we live in Houston and we have those, hurricanes and rainstorms and all.
Rain, yeah.
So I have had it happen to where something's happened in the middle of the night. My phone, even
Hour.
though it was plugged up, has
Yeah.
died and it has not gone off. And I didn't end up waking up except the alarm
Nope.
clock went off. So had the alarm clock not woken me up, I would have still been in my bed and not at school. So just because of that, that's one of the major reasons why I still
Oh,
have an alarm clock, because I have a battery in my
yeah.
alarm clock as well as it being plugged in. So it will continue to go even if
Regardless,
the power
power
is off.
pops.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. That is what's up right there. So listen, man, you have been a phenomenal talent, a phenomenal vibe on the show. We'll be sharing this on all our platforms and all our 300 groups and stuff like that. We want people to connect with you, so make sure you follow the Facebook page, the Instagram page, the Twitter. Make sure you jump on the link and get some merch. And we just think you're doing some awesome things, man. We cannot encourage you enough. We just think you've been a part of the Hello Black Man podcast here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much. We'll be in touch.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So that was Zen Ase. So listen, she's giving you so much. She's been very transparent. Listen, if this young lady tells you she has an alarm clock, she is being transparent. She is being transparent with us. She's done a lot of motivating, done a lot of coaching, mentoring. She's setting goals. She's making things happen. She's tracking them. So these are the people that I like to see and, set goals by. I am not where she is right now. So I'm watching her, you know what I'm saying? So she is a goal setter for me, goal setter for us. So that's what you want. You want to see people that are progressing so you can know what to do to progress. You can see what progression looks like. So an absolute phenomenal young lady on here tonight. Make sure her information is at the bottom, her Facebook page, Instagram page. That's probably her clubhouse, I would say, the Twitter and the website itself. So make sure you connect with her. So thank you all for being a part of the Hello Black Man podcast tonight. All about transparency and communication. And we want you to be a part of it. So make sure that you are tapping in with whatever we have going on and keep it positive, keep it moving, and keep yourself in a great decision-making mindset, because every day you're going to make some decisions that are going to impact you for the rest of your life. You can make them haphazardly, or you could premeditate those things, those decisions that mean a lot. And you'll find out that when you make calculated decisions, the outcome will be so much more proficient for you and those around you. Thank you for joining the Hello Black Man podcast. My name is Jamie Jenkins, and we are out tonight. Thank you. Share the broadcast.